All right, guys, buckle up because this is the fastest, most packed Dinar update you're gonna find anywhere today, so let's get right into it. What's the weather looking like where you are? Because over here it's completely gray and overcast, no sunshine expected until maybe Wednesday, so I'm really hoping it clears up, but we'll see. So anyway, there was a ton of articles that came through this morning from our military contacts stationed over in the Middle East, and honestly, they are the absolute best at what they do. They even sent us a song along with the intel, and the intel portion kicked in at about 53 minutes into the stream. So those timestamps are available if you want to jump straight to the good stuff, because there is a lot to cover. We're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 articles. And on top of that, we also checked the digital value of the Iraqi dinar on the trading platforms, because that's where their new digital banking system is running. Most citizens don't even realize it's happening, and honestly you won't notice when your own bank goes fully digital either. But all the major banks have already adopted a stable coin, and it's actually better than a central bank digital currency, but no judgments because the system is what it is, and in America will always remain free as long as we keep showing up to vote. So here's the rundown on these articles. 3 drones were intercepted over Erbil, they caught them. An airstrike hit a militia site in Babel with 120 reported losses. Mosul just launched its first forest project on the city's west side in over 70 years, which is amazing they're actually reforesting the area. Iran is rejecting responsibility for the fuel tank attack, which of course they're going to deny it. Prime Minister al-Sudani is actively monitoring the situation after the deadly attacks on the PMF forces, and he's standing firm on it, holding the line, being very strong. Iran is warning that oil could reach $200 a barrel amid the Hormuz tensions, but of course they're going to say that because that's their leverage play, but that's not what's actually happening. A drone literally fell on a house roof in Al-Sayah, thankfully no casualties. The tanker that was hit near Basra was carrying gas condensate, according to experts, and one of them was actually empty. The ownership of those tankers was really interesting too, 51% Iraqi state-owned, and the remaining 49% split between Shell and Mitsubishi. So don't worry, insurance is going to cover that because the current administration made sure those ships keep trading, and they hate that business is continuing as usual. But when you've got a businessman running the country, that's what happens, and we are all profiting from this. The country is getting stronger. Now the next article shows Basra crude actually falling despite global gains, with prices dropping under $100 a barrel. Iraq's oil minister is exploring alternative options for crude oil, and I read that article thoroughly. They are making plans, just like we should all have a plan for our exchange. The bridge strategy will activate as soon as it releases on the trading platforms, and right now it's suppressed at 48,101. There's no mystery about that. And then the digital dinar today showed a value of 119, which is comparable to the USD when you compare it against stable coins, because this is Iraq's version of their stable coin issued by the Central Bank of Iraq. And their banks are already running on it. That's exactly why auditors were swarming all over Iraq. It's already in place. It's the most advanced banking system in the entire region. I believe they've exported the same technology to Turkey and Syria, and I think they're planning to implement it in Iran once things settle down over there. So I keep praying for all of our military personnel around the world. Please join me in those prayers by saying Amen. Now let's get to what the intel providers are saying. One source says it's still painfully quiet, absolutely zilch, nothing new on the bond side or the group side. But there are a lot of folks sitting around like Cheshire cats about what has occurred, though they won't say exactly what happened on the bond side. Some are very excited, and some are throwing around crazy rates on currency like $1 billion for a box of dinar, which would equal roughly $25 per dinar, but nothing that can be proven or vetted. The general consensus is we'll likely see somewhere between 4 and 6 for the dinar, and between 2 and 3 for the dong, and these could release simultaneously, or one after the other. Either way would be great. Another source indicated that final system checks are going on with the banks and should be completing, with the possibility of notifications going out and appointments being set for exchanges. Has anybody received any notifications yet? Drop it in the comments below and let us know who you're signed up with for email alerts, Just be safe about what you share, don't reveal what you hold or how much. Another analyst I really respect said one way to gauge the war situation is by watching whether Iraq keeps their international airport airspace closed, because as long as it's shut down, the conflict is still active, and it's an unsafe environment. As of the 10th, it was still closed for 72 hours, and today is the 12th, so they're slightly behind schedule, but with drones still flying around, it's hard to say. Another perspective suggests the Kurds are waiting to see what happens with Sudani, and once that's resolved, the Kurds can make their decision on the presidential candidate, and then the president determines who the prime minister will be, which is kind of an interesting twist. During wartime, they usually don't make big leadership changes, and it's still Ramadan over there. Plus, Sudani continues to look very strong, and we all know certain parties don't want the previous controversial leader back in power, and neither do we, especially if you care about the citizens, because I care about all of humanity. I'm a humanitarian by nature. There was also an article about 4 Arab countries, including Iraq, reducing their oil production by a third. One analyst posed the question of what we need to get the new exchange rate, and the answer is security and stability, but not just from Iraq, we need it from Iran first. According to this perspective, Iraq is already set, we just need Iran to stabilize, and that was the exact sequence we've been watching play out. What's your take on that? I genuinely want to know. Drop your perspective in the comments below. Another update mentioned the political coordination framework being divided into 3 wings, with a meeting expected this evening to settle things, and potentially a decision by tomorrow. One long-time investor who's been in this for over 15 years said they have never seen this much happening in such a short amount of time, and I completely agree with that assessment. That catches us up to everything covered, and the only other thing worth mentioning is the discussion about the differences between fiat systems and digital systems, along with insights on the bigger picture of how these systems are being implemented. Continue to pray for our military. Say Amen in the comments if you're with me on that. I hope you're doing well out there. I love you all unconditionally. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye.